Welcome to Bunny Stories book. Today's story is about an innocent girl who is astonished with magical things which were happening around her. Once upon a time, there was an Egyptian girl. Her name was Cleopatra. She was very lonely because she always had to stay in the palace to be safe. She wanted to have an adventure. One day, she found an old room in the secret passage of the palace. She spotted an old chest. Locked. She sighed. Then she found a brass key on a broken table. "There is the key," she exclaimed. She opened up the chest with the key. She rummaged through the old scrolls that had yellowed over time. At the bottom of the chest, there was flute. "Aha! I love the flute," she cried. Cleopatra started to play it. Suddenly, whoosh! Cleopatra opened her eyes. She found herself in a magical place. "Where am I?" she wondered. Then she looked around. She saw mountains and a rainbow. Next to her was a unicorn. Cleopatra looked up. Above her was a Pegasus and a beautiful red bird. "I must be dreaming," Cleopatra thought. "Somebody pinch me." Cleopatra saw a little girl skipping down the road. "Gretel. How do you know my name?" Gretel asked. "I heard the tale about you and Hansel," she replied. "My name is Cleopatra. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the land of fairy tales. Would you like me to show you around?" "Yes, but I came from a place far from here. I have to get back home soon," said Cleopatra. "Don't worry, we will get you back home. All wishes come true here. We will go to see the mermaids first." "Mermaids. I love mermaids," exclaimed Cleopatra. Gretel gave a loud whistle. The Pegasus that Cleopatra had just seen before came right out of the sky. "Hop on!" cried Gretel. Then the Pegasus took off. Cleopatra and Gretel arrived at the mermaids. There was beautiful waterfall with two mermaids swimming at the bottom. "Cleopatra, this is Catherine and that's Joseph." "Hello. I am Cleopatra." "My name is Catherine. A little something you should know about me is that I love playing the flute." "I love playing the flute too. That is how I got here. I found an old flute in an abandoned room and played it. The next thing I knew I was here. That is very strange," said Catherine. "Here, take this lily, so that you will always remember me. And you should really go see the fairies. They will make you fly." "Thank you, Catherine," said Cleopatra. "We must be on our way," said Gretel. "See you later," Gretel called as they got on the Pegasus. The mermaids waved. Cleopatra waved back, and off they went. Gretel and Cleopatra landed in a forest. "Fairies." "Yes," answered Gretel. "Hello, Snow White. I am Cleopatra." "Pleased to meet you," said Snow White. "Where are you from?" "A place far from here," answered Cleopatra. Then Cleopatra looked at a fairy. The fairy sprinkled some dust on her. Suddenly, Cleopatra lifted up into the air. "Wow! I am flying." Cleopatra flew everywhere. She flew over the mermaids, beyond the trees and above the clouds. It was the best day of her life. "Gretel, I had the best time in my whole life, but I really must go home before it's too late." "Oh, you're right," said Gretel, disappointed. "I promise I will come back," said Cleopatra. Gretel gave her friend a hug. "Okay, so how did you get here?" "I was playing the flute," said Cleopatra. "So maybe if you play the flute again, you'll get back home." "Good idea." "Bye, Gretel. I'll really miss you." "Goodbye, Cleopatra," said Gretel. She waved. Cleopatra started playing the flute. Gretel just stared at her friend, stunned. Music notes swirled around her until, whoosh! Cleopatra opened her eyes and found herself back home. "Oh my, I must have fallen asleep because I had a dream that is too good to be true." Cleopatra stood up. brushed the sand off her dress, and walked back to her palace. She knows it was all a dream. Epilogue. But little did Cleopatra know that a beautiful, pink lily was resting right next to her.